Hello, my name is Mike Gag, and in this video we are going to look at the various operators in C#. Alright, so I still have the project open from the previous video, so we're just going to continue using this one. And we're going to look at the various operators. Now, you should be familiar with operators, but in case you aren't, operators are the things that we can do to data. So for instance, the plus sign, the minus sign, logical operators, greater than, less than, equality operators, those are just the various things we can use. Even the equal sign, the assignment operator, okay? So those are what we're going to look at. Now, first and foremost, we've seen something like this before. Int x equals 5. The equal sign is the assignment operator. You should already realize this, but basically what that does is it takes whatever's on the right, puts it into the left. Okay, always right to left. You would think I wouldn't have to say that, but sometimes I do. So there's some things. We're going to go ahead and start with that. And I'm going to have a console.writeLine so we can see the effects of our different operators. So I'm going to run this real quick, and we're going to see 5. Great, everything's working fine. Okay, now a couple of the operators I want to talk about. First is the incrementer, and the second is the decrementer. So I can do something like x plus plus, and what that'll do is that'll increase x by 1. I can also do x minus minus will decrease x by 1. I can also do something like x equals x plus 2, all right, and we'll see that should equal 7, and it does. I can shorten that up by doing x plus equals 2, okay, and we'll see 7 again. So there we go. I'm kind of going through these real fast. This should not be new material for you. I can also do x minus equals 2. When I run it, I see 3. Awesome. I can do x times equals 2, and I see 10. X divided by equals, and I get 2. The reason I don't get 2.5, all right, is because x is an integer, so the 0.5 gets truncated off the back end. Okay. A lot of these operators should be pretty standard. Okay. Should not be blowing your mind with any of this. If you know anything about programming, operators are pretty simple. It's just basic math stuff. All right, so let's look at some comparisons now. All right, I'm going to create an int y equal to 6. Okay, and then finally I'm going to create a bool result, and we're just going to leave that uninitialized. Okay. Now what I want to do here is I want to talk about the different comparison operators. All right, so greater than, less than, equal to, not equal to, things like that. All right, and these operators, they don't return back numbers like the plus sign or the equal sign does. They return back true or false. So I can say something like result equals 5 less than 6. Okay. Oh, that was a mistake. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the numbers and not the variables. That would work too, but that would be a no-brainer. And then we can output result. Okay, so what we have here now is we're declaring x and making it equal to 5, y and making it equal to 6, and then we're saying, hey, is x less than y? The result of this operator is not going to be some number, some addition or subtraction of 5 and 6. It's going to be either a true or a false, depending on whether or not x was in fact smaller than y. And when I run this, I will see true. It is true. X, being 5, is smaller than y, being 6. I can also reverse that, and we can run it again, and I should see false. 5 is not greater than 6. If I want to check to see if something is less than or equal to, I can simply do less than or equal to, and I can see true, 5 is less than or equal to 6. Furthermore, I can do greater than or equal to, and again I get false there. Nothing new about any of this, hopefully. Okay. Now I can also do the is not equal to operator. Well, here I can see is 5 equal to 6. I'm sorry, equal to 6. Now, since this is a C-based language, we do the double equal sign for equality and the single equal sign for assignment. Now, I guarantee you, you will all make the mistake sometime of doing something along these lines. I'm sorry, these lines, and it not working the way you want. Okay. Because, well, first off, it's saying it right here, we can't convert that into a bool, because that's using the wrong operator. All right. The double equal, I'll say it again, is for testing of equality to see if these equal each other. Single equal sign is simply an assignment operator. We're going to take what's on the right and we're going to put it in the left. There's no testing or seeing if anything's equal. When I run this, I should get false, which I do, unless I change my x to equal 6, in which case when I run it, I get true. All right. Okay, a couple more operators I want to talk about. One of these being the modulus operator. It's a very important operator to know about, and it's a little bit different in different languages. Some languages use the keyword mod, some do math.mod. In C#, the modulus operator is the percentage sign, so let's take a look at that. So if I do, say 4, all right, what I want to do, let me get rid of this stuff here. And let me just console.writeLine 4 modulus 6. Alright, and we'll go ahead and run that. And we see our answer is 4, because 4 modulus 6 is 4. Inversely, oh, you know, I have these variables, and I keep forgetting to use the variables, I keep using the numbers themselves. I'm sorry, let's see that with variables. X modulus y gives us 4, just like we would expect. And then we can do like y modulus x. For this one, we should see 2. Yep, great. So that's the modulus operator. If you're not sure how the modulus operator works, you know, you should go and take a look at that as an important operator, returning the remainder of division. Okay. So let's start talking about our logical operators. So we've kind of covered our arithmetic, our assignment, our equality operator at this point. And those are very important for conditionals and doing your math and stuff like that. Something else that's very important for conditionals, though, is called logical operators. All right. And so let me kind of clear some stuff out here. I'm going to go bool is true, and I'll set that equal to true. And bool is false, and I'll set that equal to false, and bool result. Alright, and so what I want to do is I want to use some logical operators to determine whether some things are true and some things are false. All of the logical operators will return back either true or false. And there's a couple different logical operators we can use for our ands and our ors. Alright, so I can say something like, let's see, not bool, result equals is true and is false. All right, and then I can console.writeLine result, and we will see the result of this operation is false. Okay, if you know anything about like truth tables, which you should definitely look up if you don't know, if something is true and false, it's false. Okay, if something is true or false, okay, that's the single pipe, the one above the enter key. All right, the answer is true. Okay, so those are our logical operators there. Now, this is really important to know. We can use the single pipe, excuse me, single pipe or the single ampersand, all right? Or we can do what I like to do, and I like to use the double ampersand or the double pipe, okay? These are conditional logical operators. What's really nice about these is they're what you call short circuit operators, okay? Basically meaning, all right, if this is an OR operation and the first value is true, we already know the result is going to be true because any OR operation with a true is going to be true. So we never even evaluate the second one, all right? because we don't need to. We know this is going to be true, so we don't even look at the second one to see whether or not it's true or false, and thus it's a little bit faster. Okay, we short circuit the process. All right, if this is if this was reversed, let's say is false and double ampersand is true, we'll see that this is false, so we know our result is false, and we never look at this one. We don't need to. All right, it's short-circuited. All right, it saves us a little bit of time. So I always prefer to use the double ampersand and the double pipes because it, in my opinion, is a little bit faster. However, if you rely on it evaluating the second part of your logical statement to do some other calculation, right, then you definitely don't want to use the double pipes or double ampersands because you will avoid doing those calculations and your program won't work the way you intended for it to work. All right. Another useful one is the not operator. So if I say is true, like this, obviously our output is going to be true, right? Because we're using the is true. But if I say not is true, we see our output is false. So not just takes anything that's true and makes it false, anything that's false and makes it true. One more thing I have in my notes to go over here that I forgot to mention. We looked at this before, int x equal to 5, x plus plus. All right, and what that essentially is going to mean is that we are going to increment x to be 6. Okay. However, there's a couple of different ways we can do this. We can do it like we just saw there, or all right, we could do something like this, where we do plus plus x. And actually, let me show you the difference here. So let me go x plus plus, and then we're going to go console.writeLine, and we're just going to write out y, and we should see 5. All right, so that might seem a little weird, right? So we're seeing 5, and let me have the console up here as we're looking at code. So x equals 5, and y should equal x plus plus. So why does y equal 5, not y equals 6? And the reason is, if we put this plus plus after the x, all right, the y evaluates the x, and then afterwards we increment x. So y is going to equal 5, and right then x is going to equal 6. All right, I can prove this to you here by doing oh wait a minute. I got to remember string concatenation in C#. All right, so we see 5 and 6. X is 6, 5, or y is 5 at this point. However, if we were to have said plus plus x, all right, that means we're going to increase x and then evaluate it. All right, and so we should see 6 and 6. In fact, we do. Okay, so I had in my notes to point that one out and forgot to mention that earlier when we were talking about the plus plus and the minus minus operators. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. In the next video, we're going to take a look at conditionals and loops in C#.